my channel. I gotta do this really fast because my camera is definitely gonna run out of space. I decided to do a fun mauvey purpley kind of look because of a request from a longtime viewer, and I really love the way things turned out. Let me know how you feel about everything. This is really weird for me, this whole lip combo thing, but I'm trying it out. I will see you guys later. I really hope you enjoy this. Please like, comment, and subscribe. So I'm trying something new today by putting on my base and eyebrows before I do my makeup, before I start filming rather, because I think it'll save some time. And while I do use some different things every day that I do my face routine, it's more or less the same sort of process, and I feel like the base is something that's pretty unique to everybody, and that is probably not what people are going to be taking from my tutorials. Long-winded way of saying I've already applied my face makeup and brows. I'm going to finish up my bronze, highlight, contour after I've done the eye makeup, but we're mostly just going to be talking about eye makeup today. I'm going to start with my Urban Decay Primer Potion. Love this shit. I'm going to be applying a small amount of this all over my eyelid area. I've got a little bit of concealer that's creased on my eye that kind of got there from when I was doing my concealer, but that's actually fine to blend that in with your primer. It's actually just going to make it cover up any sort of veins, darkness, whatever, while priming. Alright, first I'm going to go in with a pinky transition shade. For that I'm going to be going to the Naked 3 palette. And I'm going to be using the color Limit. It's this one here. It is like a taupey, grayish, pinky kind of color. I'm taking it with a fluffy brush. I'm doing this pretty big in my crease, and I'm taking it right up under the front of my brow here. Because our base is unpowdered, it's going to grab that color a lot better. If you have a hard time blending, it's sometimes good to put transition. It's sometimes good to put a color of eyeshadow similar to your skin tone all over the lid first, or even your setting powder. I think that this sometimes takes away from the vibrancy of the colors, so I choose not to do that. Alright, now after this color has been blended out quite a bit, I'm going to take a little bit smaller of a blending brush, and I'm going to be using a color right here. This is a Discontinued Gosh palette. It's just sort of like a muted kind of magenta, pinky, purple type of color, and it's a medium tone. I'm going to be putting that into the crease in the similar sort of area that we put that transition shade, but just a little bit more close to the lid. And I'm really going to make sure that it comes up here, because this is where we're going to be able to see it most when we're done with everything else. I'm going to go back in with the crease or the transition shade brush. I'm just going to soften up the outside of that so that the lines kind of blend into that transition shade. Again, I'm going to go in with the color that we used second and just make sure that the crease goes out a little bit further so it'll look nice and smoky and big later. Oh yeah, I love the way that looks. Cool. So I'm going to start going in with this color here. It's a similar sort of tone to what we put in the crease second, but it's matte and it's a lot darker, and it's a little bit more on the warm pink side. I'm going to be taking it on, I think I'm going to take this on, this will work, a sort of angled packing brush like this. It's not quite like a small angle brush that you would use for eyeliner. It's more like one of these flat brushes that I would use to pack on eyeshadow, but just kind of cut on an angle. I'm going to take it on the tips of those bristles into that matte, pretty dark magenta color, and I'm going to kind of make like a very large wing eyeliner type of shape. I'm really making sure to top off the extra, because sort of flicking the bristles like that will add a lot more fallout, especially if the eyeshadow is prone to falling out. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to switch up my brush to something more like this one here. It's like a really, really small version of a crease brush. And I'm really trying to make that sort of like diamond shape. So we're going to start off with the point of the diamond being right about here, in the end here, and then here and here are where the sort of outer corners are going to be. This is a really old technique that I've been doing for forever. It's a really interesting shape that when you first draw it on like this and then blend out, it looks really, really nice and really smoky and dramatic. Alright, you see that diamond-like shape we've got going on there? You're now going to take something like, you know what, actually the one that we used for our second crease sort of color is perfect for that. We're just going to blend out the edges to make it much softer. As you're blending, you might accidentally blend away a little bit too much with this one, just because it's on top of a lot of powders already, and you're just going to go back and sort of add as you need. But just finish blending out your edges first so that when you add later, you don't have to reblend. And we're actually not going to really worry too much about adding more depth around the sort of outer edge of it, because we're going to go in with an even darker color later to really vamp it up. Same thing on the other side. We're going to start by creating the diamond shape and blend away. Doesn't really matter how far, how it looks right here just yet, because we're going to put our sort of our main lid color on there first, and that'll help soften out any sort of like edges there. But what does matter is sort of out here, because this you're finishing. I'm going to go in with an even deeper sort of mauve-y, magenta-y kind of color. This one's literally almost black. And I'm going to do kind of like a similar shape that we did before, but a lot smaller and inside of the first time that we did it. And this is what I was talking about, the sort of one that would fix anything that was a little patchy from blending out the first one. I'm not entirely sure, wow. I'm not entirely sure where I lost you last time, but we're taking that super dark mauve color and we're putting it inside of the first diamond shape. In the same sort of shape, just smaller. This is what's really going to sort of pull the eye shape up and out and really make it look more almond. Oh, and for brushes, we're using the same as the first diamond. Alright, we've got lots of action in the crease on the outer edge, but absolutely nothing on the inner sort of corner, and it shows. I'm actually going to take just a little bit of this color here, the one that we used for the first diamond, just on the very tip of that sort of smaller crease brush, and I'm going to go a little bit up into the crease from our sort of outer colors here, and that's just gonna help with the overall shape of this look. I can't emphasize how lightly I'm sort of working with this right now. I'm gonna do the same on the other side. Not sure why, but I really just thought that it needed it, and I'm glad I did it. Yeah, that really helped the shape out to sort of really like clearly define the crease. After pulling so much attention here, you need to make sure it's still defined. I know my eyebrows are getting ferocious and they're starting to kind of like hide the highlight area there, but I kind of like it, so I'm gonna leave it. Alright, I'm really happy with that. I'm gonna take a flat brush like this one here, and I'm gonna go into a light kind of cream color. It has a really small amount of sparkle in it, and I'm just putting that right up under the brow. Alright, next I'm going to take this Cover FX Shimmer Veil cream eyeshadow. These are new and they're freaking amazing. This color is Amethyst. It's kind of like it's a purple, cool pink kind of color, and it's got like silvery blue toned reflection sparkles in it. And this stuff, when it dries down, it works really great. It locks in place. I'm really in love. I'm just going to be putting this across the inner lid here, and we're going to pull it up right there. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. It's a pretty good dough fit for this. Well, obviously I'm going to blend it out with my fingers after. I'm going to take my ring finger and I'm going to sort of tap this to flatten out the amount that we've put on in the middle of where it all is. And then I'm going to slowly move out to the edges and sort of blend those by tapping so that they're not so harsh. Alright, that looks great. I'm going to do the same to the other side, wiping off what I've got on this finger first. By tapping, you're going to make sure that you keep the saturation good. You don't sort of get areas that have a lot of product and then some areas that are totally empty of product. And by doing that process, you're going to sort of wear away at how much you have in the middle. And so I'm just going to take a tiny amount just to sort of bump up the middle for both of those. And again, sort of tap it out very lightly. Cool. So now we're going to build up the bottom. I'm going to start off with the transition shade, and I'm going to use the color that we used for the crease, the second crease color. I'm using the color that's the transition color, and I'm using the brush that was for the crease. And I'm going to be taking this and I'm going to be going underneath my eyeballs all the way, and I'm going quite big with this because we're going to put a lot more closer than that. This is just going to make it so that you have a really soft transition for your undersmoke. You don't have any sort of like blocky, not so cute lines. I'm going to take the color that we used for the diamonds, and I'm going to be using the color that we used for the first one, which is this one here. And I'm going to drag this across the lash line a lot closer to the lashes on the bottom. And then I'm going to use the brush after I've sort of applied it to smoke it out into the transition shade. And then last but not least, we're going to take that deepest color, which is this one right here. And on the very tip of that brush, I'm going to go much closer to the lashes, but also much more to the outside of the look. You're not going to go as far in with this color. This is what's going to connect it to that outer sort of wing shape. Now, with nothing else added to this brush, I'm just kind of helping to fix up the point of the eyeshadow. I love these colors so much. I'm going to go under the waterline. I'm going to be taking this Gosh eyeliner pencil. It's in a really pale bluey pink color. And this is kind of a drier one, which is surprising because I've always found the Gosh ones really creamy. So because it's drier, I'm warming it up on the back of my hand first. And I'm going to go into the waterline and in the inner tear duct with this. I want the highlight on my inner corner to be bright and pink toned, but I don't want it to be super sparkly just because I want to focus on what we've got going on right there. And I think I'm going to go in with the same color. Yeah, I'm going to go in with the same color that we used on the brow bone highlight. And I'm going to use a nice small brush. This one here is like an angle brush that's kind of fat. And I'm going to load it up and then spray it with facial something spray. And that's just gonna amp it up just a little bit without adding a ton of sparkle, because I want that sparkly eyeshadow on our lids to be the main focus. Unfortunately, spraying the shadow doesn't do very much for it. Oh well, I tried it. Okay, I'm going to apply some mascara and false eyelashes, and I'm going to be right back to finish up the look. Hey guys, I just finished doing the rest of my face makeup. The lashes, mascara are done, and so is the lip. Normally with this I would do a nude lip or a clear gloss or even just a lip balm. But I tried doing something fun, so I hope you like it. Thank you so much for tuning in this week, and I'll see you guys later.